It feels like everyone is talking about the Bucks and Celtics, or even the Warriors and Grizzlies, but let's not forget about the most dominant team from the regular season in the Phoenix Suns. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm not sure about you, but it just feels like most people have their picks in already for the finals. While I see a lot of Celtics, Bucks, and Warriors picks, I wonder why so many people are overlooking the Suns. Now, to answer that, we have to go back to round 1. The Suns dropped 2 games against the Pelicans, sure, but that Pelicans team was really solid for an 8th seeded team. And I would even go on to say that if that Pelicans team has been together all season, I think that they would have landed around the 6th seed or even higher. Nevertheless, I think that series dragging out to 6 games left a sour taste in many people's mouths. Their confidence prematurely fell off for the Suns. But remember, half that series was played without Booker, and CP3 had a mini-me pestering him like a swarm of flies every game. Regardless, I think that should show more of how equipped the Suns are to handle any sort of adversity. Comparing this season to last season, Devin Booker is still being, well, Devin Booker, but the Suns have pieces of the roster forming into huge parts of the team's offense, Mikel Bridges being the most notable to me. While he has always been that defensive two-way presence, he has upgraded his offensive impact substantially even from the regular season into the playoffs this year, adding a 2-point difference per game and much better efficiency across field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Which, if you ask me, a large reason why the Suns lost in the finals last year was their interior offense. It was severely lacking, which, against Giannis, is a handful to consider anyways. In terms of the Suns' success this season though, the outside and mid-range game has always sort of been there, but the interior offense has completely been turned around this year, which leads me into Deandre Ayton. Ayton has always been solid around the rim, but developing that mid to short range jumper has exponentially allowed the Suns to be a threat from anywhere. This adds Ayton to not only being a vertical space threat, but now he can knock down shots from that mid to short range space as well. Which was really good for Deandre Ayton because if you remember, last year the Suns and Ayton couldn't really agree on a contract because he thought he was worth a max, while the Suns didn't quite think he was there yet. And instead of complaining and lowering his head, he stepped up and is starting to show why he might deserve close to a max. I think he still has a way to go to get there, but something can be said about the mental attitude he has had so far. Comparing Ayton from the regular season to the playoffs, similarly to Bridges, he has also kicked it up a notch, and you can see here that he is much more efficient and scoring more. Granted, both players are playing a few more minutes every game. But besides Ayton, Bridges, and Booker lies one of the most valuable players on this team. And whether you like him or not, Chris Paul provides intense veteran experience that most of these other younger teams would kill for right now. His game knowledge and leadership is a large reason the Suns are doing so well, and more importantly, poised to march straight to the finals. And fast forward to the current series with Dallas, in Game 2, Chris Paul and Devin Booker both went off in the fourth quarter. Chris Paul had 14 points on 6 of 7 field goal and had a plus 11 plus minus alone in the fourth quarter. At one point halfway through the fourth quarter, Chris Paul accounted for the first 19 points in the fourth quarter. That is clearly a man who wants to close out games and is on a mission. But of course, Chris Paul is a human, and we saw a glimpse of that in Game 3 last night where Dallas forced him to commit 7 turnovers, which led Dallas to sneak a game at their home court. If you check the stats though, the Suns still shot really well from the field and rebounded really well. The problem was committing 17 turnovers, which I don't suspect will happen again in this series. Of course the cast is more than just Booker, Paul, Ayton, and Bridges. You have great role players in Cameron Johnson, Cameron Payne, Jay Crowder, and even JaVale McGee playing great basketball as a supporting cast. In my opinion, the interior offense and defense completely transformed this team from last year and the prior years. Picking up JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo was one of the best moves they made to help combat this. The 2 biggest weaknesses from last year being interior offense/defense and limited experience being gone, the Suns have had ups and downs sure, but are in a way better position this year than last year. And we shouldn't just slough it off like Dallas is a bad team either. The Mavericks are a really good team with solid players. Luka is the type of player where he can go and get his 30-piece any night against any defender, but the Suns are locking down other players like Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson. Now I would like to hope that this series will get evened out in Dallas again tomorrow night to make it more enjoyable to watch, but the Suns have too many threats from all areas on the court. Like I talked about before, I don't think they're going to commit that many turnovers again, and I just can't see Dallas pulling out another game. But we will just have to wait and see what transpires. With all that being said, I think it will only be a matter of time before the people start realize the Suns are not playing around. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What weaknesses do you see in the Suns that could prevent them from making it deep, or do you think they're the real deal and a huge problem for other teams in the playoffs? We can talk about it down below in the comments, and if you enjoy great conversations with basketball fans alike, I invite you to join our official JSM Discord server where there are hundreds of other basketball fans who message during games in real time, send NBA news updates, or even post hilarious memes. It's completely free to join, and I will have a link in the description below to join. That's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and even subscribe to stay up to date on all things NBA. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.